This is Next 5 Minutes. Welcome back, viewers. It's been more than a year since our last video. Today I'll talk about two topics. One is about a recent observation I made, and the other is a venture called DateNxt. Now, New York State, where the business will be established, requires that an LLC post ads in 2 newspapers. A few US states have this law, but this is not about advertising. So I thought maybe print ads could be more cost-effective than digital. Yeah, that's a wholesome idea. So I looked at some local papers, and to my surprise, I saw whole pages dedicated to people or practitioners who can get your ex back with a love spell. I wondered, how could demand be so high for such a service? Here's where some people will turn me off. If you love someone, you would put work into that relationship. You wouldn't send a love spell to do it for you.
Hello, I am a British voiceover artist. Shawn asked me to offer commentary. Right. Well, look how his head is slanted to the left at a 45-degree angle. This denotes the seriousness of his statement. Back to the video.
What? Why are people doing this? I think these people should put a love spell on themselves so that they can learn to love themselves. If they did, they wouldn't have to force someone to love them. What this really is control. They're trying to control their love interest. They want to take these people against their will. That is an obsession. Check your motives. They are not pure. Listen carefully. If you love yourself, you wouldn't need the love of someone else to feel love. This is not love. This is obsession and control. This is also lack of self-control. In this case, if we lack self-control, we will succumb to our desires to control others. Merriam-Webster says obsession is a persistent, disturbing preoccupation with an often unreasonable idea or feeling. It is unreasonable to obsess over someone. It is unreasonable to control someone. It is unreasonable to manipulate the course of someone's life to your benefit. Haven't we learned anything from Endgame? These people are changing the timelines of their love interest. What if you did do this? What if your love interest did return to you because of some love spell? What if the person was supposed to live to be 103, but because of your love spell, they, God forbid, died 2 weeks after you married them? There are consequences for breaking spiritual laws, just as there are consequences for breaking temporal laws. Consider this: a driver driving 88 miles per hour through an unfamiliar city and gets pulled over. They will want to declare ignorance of the speed limit. The driver will still get a speeding ticket because the law was broken. The driver could say, I knew it wasn't right, but I didn't know how not right it was. And so the driver cannot declare ignorance. Well, unless, of course, the police officer was their ex-lover that had a love spell placed on them. So there is a cost for these services, but there is also a price to pay. Recall every movie that we've ever seen where someone pursued a pathway to obtain something that they weren't supposed to have. And when they did get that thing or person, they had to run from it, right? Now here's a simple test. Define the word love. If we struggle to do this, or if we cannot do this, how can we expect to find success with love? The problem here is we could take off ignorantly looking for love without defining it. We will have the tendency to assign a convenient definition on the fly. So if someone treats us badly, we say, well, that's the way love is. Or it's better to have loved than to never have loved at all. Or some of us might recall a time when we tried to make our love interest jealous by spending time with someone else. We thought if they feel jealous, then they do love us. I recently shared the following thought with someone. I said what we desire in a mate is already inside of us. We already have it, but it's not tangible. The physical manifestation should be that love interest. Recall the story of Genesis when God puts Adam to sleep and he takes one of his ribs, makes Eve, and brings Eve back to him. The problem here is what we get may not be what we expect because we never define love, we only try to feel it. So if our love interest has left us, it could feel like a part of us is missing. Understandable. I have had this same issue myself. And so what I'd like to do with this DateNxt effort is to uncover what it is that we desire and why we desire it. Note, there are different types of love. For example, there is a parental love. Some of us may not have received this as a child, and so we may continue to look for it alongside romantic love. It's all mixed up. Now, we expect the love interest to raise our inner child and any children that our union produces. And when does that inner child surface? In decision processing and in decision making. We may have had a conversation with the love interest and it completely shut down, unable to continue the conversation or communicate. Or maybe the responses that they gave seemed childish and immature. Know that arguing and fighting or punishing the person will not grow their inner child because that cannot be raised. That inner child, is based on the experiences and the understanding that it has up to that point in life. Depending on the severity, professional help may be required. Gentle reminder, If our motives are not pure, what will come back to us is not going to be pure either. You know, with all these spell casting practitioners and all the demand for their services, I wonder how many people are under a love spell right now.
I'm Abrams, you're awesome. I'll see you in the next 5 minutes.